Hello to my Flickering Myth family out there, and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ, and in this video, we will be discussing a brand new teen comedy that's coming out, and honestly, one of the funniest movies I've seen this year. In this video, we will be discussing why I loved Bottoms. What I'm really excited about is this film. Oh my goodness, I have not seen a comedy that's this like wall-to-wall funny in quite some time. There is just joke after joke after joke. Usually I can find that a bit draining and I'm just like, wow, they threw every joke they had at this wall and not a lot of them stuck. But this movie, they threw every joke at the wall and almost every one of them stuck, made me laugh, and stayed with me. There's jokes, gags, and like moments from this movie that will sit with me for quite some time. I was blown away by the end of this movie. I swore those trailers showed way too much of this. I was like, oh my god, I've seen all of Bottoms. I don't need to see it because I've seen it in the trailers. The movie still has some surprises up its sleeve. If you saw those trailers like I did and went, well, that's the comedy, that's it, and you were like, oh, let me walk away from it. No, watch this movie. You will be pleasantly surprised. I am always hit or miss with comedies. I like most of them. I love cult comedies though. These campy kind of weird movies that you're just like, wow, that's gonna stick with me forever. Think of like Beverly Hills Troop or Troop Beverly Hills. Think of The Addams Family Values, Clueless, Legally Blonde. There's these kind of very distinct, like specific type of comedy movies that really stick with certain type of viewers, and this is going to be one of them. Bottoms is going to be one of those movies I return to often. Emma Seligman is back with a new film, and I really loved her debut, Shiva Baby. It was so unique, so different. The tone was very comedic, but also felt like a horror film at times. This movie also skirts some tonal like vibes. There's a lot of action movie moments. There's a lot of like creepy moments. I was like, ooh, what is going on in the background of this story? Like, this is one of those movies. I love the universe that they've crafted. It feels great, and the writing is so sharp. It is just, it's precise. It's in, it's out. No joke stays too long. No joke overstays its welcome. Everything is just timed perfectly. The comedic beats, that goes down to having good actors as well. We will talk about the acting and the characters in a moment. But yeah, I really like the writing. Sharp, witty, on point. They're also discussing a younger cast, which is hard to do with a lot of like, you see a lot of people who are 35 plus trying to write, Gen Z, millennial characters, and they aren't connecting. It feels false. This is not one of those examples. This goes up with Bodies, 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 which also has Rachel Sennott in it, as a modern movie for modern audiences. It is just so witty and so on point, and it really talks about this generation well without punching down. That's something I love about the comedy of this movie. They're not punching down, which means they're not going for people lower than them. Everyone is fair game. Everyone's getting made fun of. This isn't just like, oh god, they're gonna make fun of men in this movie only, or they're gonna just make fun of very woke kind of people. No, everyone's getting made fun of, but no one's getting punched down at. No one's getting mocked for being that. They're just being like, this is the jokes that come with this type of person. Let's make fun of them. And it's easy. There's a fine line in comedy to walk where your comedy can feel malicious or it could just feel like just throwing shade, which is just kind of light barbs, like funny, just like moments, but especially within communities. I think we all have those jokes within our own communities that feel funny, and then when someone outside of that community says it, it's like, oh, yikes. That's not this kind of movie. It works. Everyone is made fun of. Everyone is treated fairly. Everyone is done well here. This is the type of comedy writing I want to see way more of. Something else I really like about the writing of this movie is how it twists up formula. If you've seen a teen comedy or a rom-com, specifically comedies, horror also has this problem, but there's a formula. You can easily map out how a movie will play out. Oh, the funniest stuff happens in the first act. Then, the inciting incident. Then we have this moment at the end of the second act, right before the third act, where all of our characters start fighting, and then they have to come back together to get back, for whatever the plot is in that third act. That's here. I'm not saying this movie's reinventing the wheel, but I like how it twists up the formula. I like how I knew what was coming, but every step it was just like a little bit different, a little bit twisted, a little bit playing on itself. And then again, the final act of this movie really pays off so much that it's setting up. That's again something else I like. We have payoff, and then we have setups, and then we have payoffs. That's hard to do in a lot of modern movies where it's like, well, you guys set something up and you guys referenced it multiple times, but there's no payoff at the end. Not this movie. Every joke that we have, especially the ones that you like, will get paid off by that third act. It's just smart. It's taking a formula, it's taking what we know, messing with it just slightly, so we are even more like at ease when we're watching the insanity of this movie. What a talented group of actors that this is. Oh my goodness, I have not seen this much funny people put together since like Wet Hot American Summer, which feels so long ago now. But yeah, it's that type of movie where I'm like, each and every person gets a time to shine, especially side characters. If you are familiar with iconic comedy movies, the side characters that usually have one or two lines sometimes are the funniest characters you'll ever see in the movie. That is here. The funniest characters with the funniest lines. There was moments in this movie that will stick with me because of just how somebody said it or the attitude of somebody. There's this one guy who's trying to maybe blow up something, and the way he gets so mad at the end, I genuinely was like, I love this character. I love these people. It feels like everyone's lived in. It feels like everyone's real. Like, I feel like I could go up and talk to these people and, you know, outside of their character, and they would be that character. They would be able to bring it to life. You can go home with it. You see that a lot with impersonations of like, oh, they're good on stage impersonating, but once you take them home, they can't live with that character. They only have what they need. These people felt like they were their characters, that you could take them home, live with them for a week in their character, and they would still be nailing it. I love seeing that. Again, this is a really strong cast with really strong actors and great comedic moments. Everyone gets a time to shine. Everyone gets to do something great here, and there's some amazing work from some amazingly talented people. When I'm discussing what actors really stood out to me, we have our two leads, Rachel Sennott and Ayo Edebiri, I believe her name is. Amazing. Ayo is, she is so damn funny. I saw her in theater camp this year, another comedy I really liked, and I've also know she's on The Bear. I haven't got the chance to watch it yet, but I know it's very good. Yeah, she is amazing. Rachel Sennott, I've already spoke highly about how much Rachel Sennott is the future of comedy. She gets it. I remember her doing like a TikTok or a Vine or something years ago, and it was just about LA party girls. She has not stopped making me laugh since that damn short video, and in this movie, she's so funny. The relationship between these two lead actresses, I love that they felt like friends for years, and you can tell that goes with these characters, feeling lived in. I love that. What I also loved is Ruby Cruz. I believe that's her name. Yeah, Ruby Cruz. Whoa, 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 whoa. What a talent here. Her character is insane, but kept me going. The funniest character in this movie. Ruby Cruz, I don't know who she is. She popped out of nowhere for me, but I need to see her in like every movie this damn year. It is so funny. Like, put her in, I don't care, a Jordan Peele movie at this point. Put her in like another Rachel Sennott directed movie or written movie. I don't know, but this girl is great. I believe she's actually in a Coen Brothers, you know, Ethan Coen has doing his own movie, or Joel, I don't know which one of them is doing it, but I believe they're hiring her. Get it. Ruby Cruz, I am amazed by you. And somebody, I am shocked. If you guys follow my other channel where I've talked about American Horror Story, you know what I'm about to say is wild. But Kaia Gerber, I shaded you so much in every American Horror Story you've been in, but holy hell, you have the funniest lines here. This is what I love about a good writer and director. Like, Emma and Rachel really knew how to write each one of these characters and gave Kaia Gerber, who I don't think is the most talented actress, really great comedic moments that I stuck with, that were really funny. This is about strong writers writing for actors and how to write for them and how to get the most out of them. And again, someone like Kaia Gerber, who's not the most, like, you know, well-versed actress, who I don't think is always like on point. I may change my feelings now with this movie because she's so funny. Like, I don't want to like say lines and spoil them and then you guys hear them 1,000 times, but she legit killed me with some of her lines. A good all-star cast that everyone's doing. Like, I know I named a couple people, but like Marshawn Lynch, a football player, is playing a teacher here who's also like the coach for this like fight club that they're trying to build. That's the plot of this movie. You're here already this far in. You don't really need to know the plot. But yeah, oh my good, Marshawn Lynch eats it up. This whole cast is so good, so delicious, and they're the reason I would come back to watch more. And lastly, one big final point. This feels like a throwback to camp classics, comedies that stuck with me for years. I'm talking Clueless, Wet Hot American Summer. Think of a little bit of a Coen brother mixed with a little bit of John Waters. That's what this feels like. And again, we are not getting movies like this at all anymore. Like, look, I'm really happy though between this and No Hard Feelings that these theatrical releases, these like mid-ranged comedies aren't dead yet. There's still space for them. These movies stuck with me, like the ones I just listed. I mean, going back to like Mean Girls, going back to Clueless, going back to Clue. There's so many I can name throughout time that have really stuck with us. You think of like the John Hughes 80s movies. You think of the late 90s where everything was a remake of Jane Austen or a Shakespeare twisted up in modern senses. Those really stood out to us and stood with us as fans for years. That's exactly what this movie's gonna have. This feels like I can't believe I'm gonna sound this old, but they don't make them like this anymore. They truly do not make comedies that are this raunchy, this funny, this poignant, that still speak to you at all. Like, I thought this was a lost art, but again, this year's had a lot of these. Theater Camp, No Hard Feelings, now this. I am happy that comedy could be returning. Like a genre that we all thought was dead is back, and movies like Bottom is exactly why we need more of these, and a good reminder of why comedy is so important. Alright everyone, that is it for my review of Bottoms. I have discussed everything I loved about it. Again, the movie's not perfect, some editing issues aren't my favorite. It's a comedy, not every joke's gonna land, but thankfully they move along pretty well. Yeah, look, it's not perfect, but it's pretty damn close. Like, this is one of the funniest movies I've seen all year, and in my top favorites of the year. Share your guys' feelings down in the comments below. If you've able to see Bottoms yet, let me know what you think. If you know, this review is pretty early compared to when it comes out, so make sure you guys stay tuned to Bottoms. Watch it. Make sure you stay tuned to Flickering Myth as well. Subscribe to our channel. Comment down below. Thumbs up. All that jazz. And let's talk about Bottoms right down here.